everybody. Welcome to another episode on Alto Call MAFS. I'm your host, Tane, here for this week's reality show, Ramble. Thank you guys for those of you who sent comments and liked the first episode that I just kind of was rambling on. And it encouraged me to do another one because there's always something to talk about. I know the holidays are looming close, so I hope everyone has plans for a good holiday. My last few episodes for the year will be coming out in the next week or so. Those will be the last new episodes, and then I'll take a break and we'll be back with new episodes in the new year. So, thank you for listening. And this week, I'm going to be talking about a couple of headlines and some reality shows here and there. And as always, if there's a show that you want to know my opinion on, send me a question or want me to talk about on the next one, let me know and I will share my opinion with you. Okay, first on the list. The rumor is that Nene is back on Bravo's good books. I don't know if it's true. And for backstory, I'm talking about Nene from Real Housewives of Atlanta, who left a couple of years ago, who sued the network, not on good terms with Andy, and now the rumor is that she's back on Ultimate Girls Trip. How do I feel about that? I feel good about it because we've talked so much about Nene coming back that I'm like, let's just get it done and let's just see how it plays out. Because here's the thing, Nene is a fantastic housewife. Nene is in the Mount Rushmore of housewives. I know recently somebody asked Andy about who the top housewives were, and of course her name was not listed because, again, if there's a suit, if there's a lawsuit, like she's like, keep my name out your mouth. Just erring on the side of caution is my assumption. I think at BravoCon he said they had texted a couple of months ago. Maybe things are good. I don't know. Nene's great. Nene was great for a couple of years, and then she thought she was bigger than the show, and she went on Glee and had those opportunities and started treating it like it was beneath her. She came back, but then she became insufferable. Like, even at the reunion, she did not want to participate. She did not want to give and was just being really, really nasty, and it was just not fun to watch. So that's my last, memory of her is that. And I know that the nostalgia is strong and everyone is like, bring bring Nene back. But the chemistry with people matters. And I know that she has those relationships off camera, but I'm almost scared that what if she doesn't live up to the image and the reputation that we had of her before she left? And then, but what if it does work out, because, she hasn't lost it and it's a different phase of her life, RIP to Greg, her husband. So I want her to come back. I want this to happen just to kind of feel like, where is Nene these days? And let's just see what she's going to give us. And also, Ultimate Girls Trip is always a good time. Like, we'll never get the magic of what the first one was because it was so amazing. And we're never gonna see was it Marrakesh? Yeah, Marrakesh, I think, was the season. But yeah, bring it back and bring Nene back. And it's gonna be very important who they cast around her. So I'm here for it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like, I'm here for it. But let me know, you guys, what do you think about Nene back on Ultimate Girls Trip? Do you think that she should be, quote unquote, punished for her not wanting to share anything, give anything for the last few seasons? Or do you think like it's a welcome change? Like, the housewives are getting stale and let's see what's going to happen. I think the other part of it is that they've been doing this thing where they're bringing back former housewives and it's not exactly hitting like it should be. And I just don't want that to happen to Nene. I want her to keep her legend status. But as a legend, I think she should probably come back and do a good job. So looking forward to seeing her. Okay, next headline. It is not reality TV, guys, but it is so messed up and so ridiculous that I just had to share. I don't know if you guys have seen the headlines about Lisa Marie Presley's daughter, Riley Keough, and just a headline that came across on my feed, like, she's the biological daughter, mother of John Travolta's youngest son because she donated eggs, for him to have it. And it is so unfortunate that this is happening because Riley Keough is just trying to live a private life. She does everything under the radar, and she's like the complete opposite of her mom, Lisa Marie, who had kind of like a chaotic life, and she's just trying to be under the radar. Like, I think she just had a kid with her husband, no one knew, and she just announced, I have a kid, and she's the one keeping things together over there. She did have like a conflict, lawsuits against her grandmother, Priscilla Presley, I think over the Elvis estate or things like that. It all happened after her mom passed, and it's just been a hot mess. Now, Priscilla Presley has to be the problem because first you're going to court with your granddaughter against the estate, and now it is Priscilla Presley's business partner, Brigitte Cruz, I don't know if I'm saying that right, who filed a lawsuit against Priscilla Presley for unpaid wages, and then from nowhere somehow mentions that John Travolta many, many years ago came to Lisa Marie and asked her for eggs and for, I guess, the older children. It's unclear. And then, after his first son, Jet, passed away, he and Kelly Preston, also rest in peace, came to ask for eggs again, but did not want Lisa Marie's eggs due to, quote, her heroin addiction. And then somehow, I don't know, Riley was the one who gave the eggs and is the biological mother of their 15-year-old son now, Ben. None of this has been proven. None of this has been factual. This information allegedly comes from Lisa Marie Presley's ex husband, Michael Lockwood, who's also the father of the twins that they have together. So he's basically, I don't know, feels some type of way that they're kept out of the estate or is not making money. And I don't know if he thinks that that helps in some way. I think what is disgusting is that it has nothing to do with the case. It is such a gross act and such a hit against a violation of their privacy. If it is true, but even if it is, like, it has nothing to do with them. So now you've brought in Riley Keough. Now you've brought in John Travolta, Kelly Preston's memory. The kid is now involved. What if the kid didn't know? Like, again, allegedly, if this is true. So it's just going to such lengths because of money is very disgusting. If you have issues with Priscilla Presley, go ahead and do that. But bringing up all of this, why? Why are we doing this? Why do people do this? And the whole talk is like, oh, it happened because I think they're all in, Scientology. Lisa Marie was a part of Scientology. So this is John Travolta and Kelly Preston. So that's the whole talk, that's what the whole link is. And it wasn't just like a random ask and things, but it's just gross. And I can't believe that this was a headline. And I hope that it just fades away into the black and just goes away. But as a sidebar, Lisa Marie has a memoir, From Here to the Great Unknown, which she started writing before she passed and she didn't finish, and so Riley Keough is the one who finished it for her. It's such a great read. I read it and it just gives insight into Riley, and I'm bringing this up because it just feels like she was a de facto parent. She's the one taking care of her, younger twin siblings, and almost had to parent Lisa Marie because of all the drug use and all the chaos that was in her life. And I just, this feels like another thing that she has to manage, because remember, they also lost her brother to a drug overdose. So it's just a lot of, unfortunate things. And after reading the book, I just wanted peace for her. So seeing this headline was just like, oh my God, can this girl live? But yeah, if you're looking for a good memoir, like, and I always say, if you're reading memoirs, it's always better on audio, because even in the book, Lisa Marie provides like actual audio tapes of her talking about stuff that she was, recording so that they could use for the book. So there's that. Okay, on to the shows. Let me start with Survivor, because Survivor just ended. Survivor just had like this big old, finale. And I gotta tell you, for a season that I really wasn't feeling, I kind of enjoyed the final tribal cancel, even kind of enjoyed the fire, even enjoyed the after show. Still against the after show, but actually enjoyed it, because I just think it's too soon. You can't crown a winner and then immediately you have to process everything immediately. And also selfishly, I miss the live show. I miss Jeff walking in with the votes. I miss all the little things they used to do, the audience clapping, the videos, seeing the difference between what people actually look like, not when they were in the jungle, hungry, playing for 29 days, 26. Sorry guys, one of those days. Yeah, so I missed that, but yeah, but it was one of the better ones that I have seen in the new era. And winner was Savannah, and it's almost like duh, who else would have won the show? Well, it could have been anyone, but still, we kind of knew because we already knew that Savannah and Rizzo were going to be on 50. So for me, it was either one of them, which again I think affected the way I was watching it. But Sophie should have taken Rizzo's idol, but I think Sophie did a good job by putting Rizzo and Savannah together in the fire. I was like, okay, that could be a move, but I like that. But it was just, that's what made it enjoyable because I was like, huh, who's going to win? Because that's going to determine who wins and who leaves. And I know I said I enjoyed the fire. Listen, I have to accept it. I don't necessarily like it, but it's here to stay, and I have to accept it. But it is such a shame. Wasn't really feeling Rizzo like it was doing too much, but a little hearing his story now, I have a different appreciation for it. But he played such a bold, such a good game, and to be taken out by fire, it's heartbreaking. Like as a viewer, I think it's heartbreaking. As the person playing, I can't even imagine what that feels like. But it's also a situation like we know there's fire. You have to practice fire. You can't come in that cocky. I know he was cocky, but you can't come in that cocky and not practice fire knowing that you might be put to play fire. And if you're playing that boldly, that is the one opportunity for them to take you out. So practice before you come on. Everyone's practicing the game, the puzzles, doing 3Ds. Well, add that to the list. Make fire. Um, did I miss when Jeff stopped saying jury names? Like the jury just comes out now and he doesn't say the names. Or was I making that up? I kind of missed that too. The questions were nice. Let me see. Taking Sage. I was rooting for Sage before when the episode first started, and by the end I wasn't. I was very impressed by Sophie. I was very sure that Sophie was going to be a zero vote finalist, and calling me shocked, she was not. I actually think that Sophie killed it. Yeah, I'm calling her Sophie. She's the only one left there. I think she killed it at jury. I think she answered the questions well. I think she put up a good fight, and she ended up not being a zero vote finalist. And also, having three women, and we haven't had that for a while. Pretty damn cool, if I say so myself. Christina asking the question to Savannah. That has been a hot topic. To name, people's family members and things like that. How do I feel about that? Was Christina's question fair? I think it's a fair question. What is it? Outwit, outlasts, out something. And part of it is social game. It depends on what kind of game that you're going to play. But also, Asia has been on the show before and just mentioned how, you're so hungry and you're trying to just get your wits together. Even on a regular day, some people are not good with names. Some people don't know that. Talk less of trying to play the game, practice paranoia, be hungry, and do all things to remember all that. Is it still a fair question? Yes, it is a game. They are the jury. They are the ones who are deciding, and you cannot dictate what question they want to ask for who they want to award the money to. It's fair game to ask anything that you want to. Now, the only asterisk I'll put against it is like, I do think that the other two should have been asked the same question. So asking just Savannah, it was just seemed like a pointed way to like I don't it's very clear that Christina doesn't like Savannah. I mean that's fair. We're not meant to like each other. You can't like everybody. I don't think Christina meant it to be mean, but I think that she kind of meant it to put holes in her argument. But also, why not? If that's what you want to do, it's kind of like the opposite, maybe. Yeah, I think it's kind of the same. Last season, when Camille kind of gave the assist to Kyle, and then he set it up and got the win. So it's like the opposite of that for maybe someone you don't want to win. I don't know. But I think the question is fair. I do think the other two should have been asked. And I think that it was very funny that when Savannah was answering, now she didn't know the names, but she kind of knew some certain things like a number of children, number of things. And they've only known each other 20 something days, and some people had been in different tribes. So I don't know. But Sophie mouthing all the answers to the questions was just like, So I wish that they would have that. Oh, I think I saw an interview where Riz says he's not a fan of the questions. Okay, sure. And but Savannah said she was fine. She was fine with the questions and she was okay with it. And if she's okay with it, I think everybody else should too. But Riz did say that eventually Christina had to ask the other two. They just didn't show it. But okay, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But based on what they showed us, it was just Savannah that had to answer the question. Sage. Sage was very emotional. I don't did I miss this? I think I missed the fact that Sage is very emotional. And she did get emotional. Like, at some point she was, crying and saying that she doesn't like the feeling that she might have hurt people, and everyone's saying like it's a game. And I'm gonna give her grace. I would say, like, on a normal day, I'd be like, get it together. Like, it's a game, and that's what you came here for, to be cutthroat. And I think my image of Sage was like she was cutthroat. So to see her break down, I was like, oh, I might have got this wrong. I don't think she did very well in the jury, but this is another reason why we need to give people time to process things, because it's a lot of emotions at the last moment. And you can't have someone crying without acknowledging it, and they're always scrambling for time, and you have to acknowledge that, and that goes against the time that they have for the after show where so much is going on. But I hope she feels better and she knows that she's a game, but I also feel like that means like she's never going to get a call back, because clearly she can't handle it. Another point for Sage was, before the final tribal, where she was feeling some type of way and saying that she was expendable when it was between Christina and Sage, and saying that, she felt like she was expendable. I'm glad that Christina called it out to say, like, that's how you feel, but it's not necessarily fact, because you're saying you're expendable, but you had a best friend in Juwan. You had Juwan saying you're family. So it's not the same case of you doing that. And at some point, you were running the game. So to say you're extendable is just, I think that's something deeper, because once again, feelings are not facts. So she feels like she's not always the one that has the friends, but hopefully she does some introspection to make sure that she's not becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy where she's doing things that keep people away. But she came in here and it's been proven that she's not expendable. She made it to the final. You could have been voted out, because if you feel you're expendable, then what should Yellow Sophie feel? Just a little perspective. Like I said, I think the jury had good questions. I enjoyed the questions. I didn't like that Nate didn't have much to say. And also, why didn't they share that Nate is a bigwig in Marvel? Like, it would have been cool, and giving him also something to say. We got a glimpse of Survivor 50. I didn't feel anything. I felt excitement and maybe nostalgia, but I also felt, okay, go ahead, girl, give us nothing. So maybe it was hopefully just a preview, but I am excited for 50. I've been saying I want to temper my excitement, but I can't help myself. I really love this show, and I'm still going to watch it anyways. I am excited. I think Jeff said they're going to 2 weeks leading up to the premiere. They're going to show certain episodes. I am very excited for that. I have rewatched, some seasons. I'm supposed to do a rewatch with a friend and couldn't decide which season I wanted to rewatch and get in there again, just because there's so much to watch and I haven't had time. So this is a good way to kind of watch old season and just watch certain episodes. So I'm very, very excited for that. That I'm excited about. So we'll see. But yeah, we got Rizzo and Savannah on 50. I'm not happy about Savannah going back, because not a Savannah thing. I had an episode, I think it was a bonus episode, where Jason and I talked Survivor. And I did mention, like, I did wish that there were no winners that were coming back for 50. I mean, we did winners at war for 40. We need to give other people a chance. These people already won. So right now we have, except, no, Natalie's on Traders. Sorry, I'm getting this wrong. But if she was on there, I don't care. But now we have Kyle that's on there. Like, even Siri, I don't think Siri should have come back. Sorry, guys. It's yeah. But I don't. It's Savannah. I think should have sat it out, and maybe somebody else giving her a chance. but who would I want to come back? I'm fine with Rizzo. I think Rizzo's Riz, sorry for that pun, will be a good addition on there. I want to say Steven, but no, I think I want a woman to go. So I think I would say Yellow Soph. Like Yellow Soph's intensity, I think would be good on there, and I'd like to see it. And she's also like a comp beast. So I think I would have gone with Yellow Sophie. And also, is it healthy to do Survivor back to back? I think they said no one's ever done it. Like it just feels like so stressful on the mentals to do that. So I hope she's ready for it. But if anyone's gonna do it, it's Savannah. And I do want to say a little side thing. It's very easy to say, "Oh, Savannah, I don't like the way she played. Like she's not likable. She's not anything." And it's very important to kind of just check to be like, why? Because, it's very easy to always put that label on women when they come in and they're cutthroats and they're very direct and they're just, stating what it is that they want. And I guess it's kind of like reminds me of like Michaela, who started on Survivor and now on the challenge, where they're not here to make friends. They're not here for the niceties and the emotionals. And I know that's what Survivor's here, but we need to make room for the fact that not everybody's like that. She came here, she had a goal, she wanted to win, and she was very cutthroat and she was very, very direct. If other people get praise for it, like she shouldn't get dinged for it. Like, even if she's not likable, okay, fine, that's okay. Like, she came here to achieve a goal, she achieved that goal, and it's just, I don't know, just something like even for myself, just to check myself, like, why? Why is it an issue if they do that? And there are other people who do that who are men, and that's okay. And my final point on them, Rizzo and Savannah going on 50 is just they have the advantage of the fact that no one watched their season and no one knows what they did. So they could go in there and come up with a plan and say, like, oh, we didn't do so well, and not know, like, if they won. But somehow they all have loose slips on Survivor. Someone's going to slip and say, don't tell anyone, and the whole group is going to know. So that's it on Survivor. As always, let me know your thoughts and what you thought about that. Let's talk about Married to Medicine. I love this show. It's taken a turn in the last few seasons, but I love this show. I think I've said this on the podcast many times that there was a time if you asked me what the best shows on Bravo were, I always used to say Married to Medicine and Vanderpump Rules. Married to Medicine is in its new season. I think we're about 3 or 2 episodes in, and it's fun this time. In the last few seasons, I think has been dark. It just felt like they didn't like each other, and every single episode was them just the coworkers that don't like each other being around, and it wasn't fun to watch. I do think one of the better things is having Heavenly as a friend. I'm not a Heavenly fan, and it's the best thing because we don't see too much of her. I think she's a friend because she's running for office or something. I don't understand that, but that I think that's the reason that we're given. But I also think that she's being a little low key because she's running. I say that as she yells at Toya, like, don't talk about my son. She can't help herself. But I don't think she knew she was going to be a friend of. But I don't know. I think it's a good thing. Like, it's too much when she comes on. I love me some Toya. I love the way Toya does not give a fuck. Like, she's gonna say what she want to say, and she's gonna stand in her truth, and she's gonna do what she want to do. And that's the best thing you can give on reality TV. Just being your authentic self, for better or for worse. And I love Toya and Eugene. They are so like authentic to me, and the way Eugene rides for his family, the way Toya raises her boys. Yes, they move house every season, which is insane. Moving is a bitch, and their houses are not small. So to pack up everything every year, I don't even understand it. And Eugene driving 3 hours for work, that doesn't even sound healthy, but okay. I am sorry for the loss of Toya's dog. She seemed to really love her dog, and it was just such a tragic way to die, but sorry for her. Now, the thing that's been going through everywhere is Simone and her kids. That dinner. I like how the oldest son just didn't say anything. He was just panicking internally, just like, what the fuck is happening right now? But her younger son, so entitled, Simone is angry. She should be angry. She's angry at Cecil, she's angry at her boys, and probably angry at herself because at the end of the day, She and Cecil raised them this way. What are you racking $60,000 of charges on a credit card that you are not paying for? Why do you feel that that's okay? You got a condo that you don't even have to pay for. You got freebies. You can do whatever you want. Listen, I read or saw something where a financial advisor was saying like it's important to have cash around your kids so they know the value of money. Like kids these days just know that you swipe a card and they just don't understand like, oh, you don't have money. You just have a card. You just tap your phone and that's it. But when they see cash, which is finite, which is gonna, run out, maybe they'll understand that money actually runs out kind of too late for Simone's kids. But it was just crazy to me the way the son was talking back so boldly, talking back saying, I'm done. And Simone's anger just came all the way out. I don't care if Cecil agreed or not. Cecil backs her up here. She is the provider. You're not working. Don't say we are here and we can do better for it. It's this no we. It's her working her bone and her saying that I want to retire someday, but I have to keep working because I have to finance your life. And I see this also on Love and Marriage Huntsville with Nell. She keeps saving her children and she wants to do things with her money, but her money keeps going to them because I don't know if they feel entitled to it, but it's just insane to me. And also Simone is angry because Simone is not happy with Cecil. Back at that reunion, when we watched the whole cast make her reunite with Cecil, it seemed so cute. But at the end of the day, in hindsight, she's the one who knows how it feels. She's the one who knows what is going on in the marriage and what she can or can't handle. And maybe they should have let her go. The woman is clearly unhappy. Like, I do like that they laugh a lot, but there's a lot of resentment that I don't know if she's ever going to get over. And, Cecil has the better end of the stick. Like, he's always la di da. And he's just like, well, you're not suffering in any way in this union. But this is why I always say, and this always comes up the wrong way and people misunderstand it, but divorce should always be an option. Like when people come and like, oh, divorce is not an option. I'm like, why? Because then you get stuck in a cycle of unhappiness. And this is all things being equal. When, you've worked out things, you've gone through the scenarios and it's just not happening and you're unhappy. It's okay for divorce to be an option so both people can be happy. And so if there are kids involved, they get to see happy individuals as parents. But this group values marriage so much, which is great if it's healthy. Because look at Contessa. Look at Contessa just throwing herself a birthday party and she's about to be 50 and she's doing everything and then wakes up the next day to even cook brunch and her husband is just there dressed as a pimp and taking credit for it. That's what happens. And that's what happens with the seasons before where she talks bad about him to everyone and now she's decided to stay and she's saying like, oh, it's a patriarchy and you guys are talking about we're just doing something. It's the bare minimum. Well, your husband Scott is not even doing the bare minimum. Now the newbie was doing a lot, Brandy, with the dinner because Contessa was right. It's not a fancy dinner. It seems like an establishment where you come in to eat. Yes, but I mean, she kept saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, that was a lot, but at the same time, it's still a nice gesture. There's not things that you can't do by yourself. You can buy yourself flowers, like Miley says. Is it nice if your partner gives you consideration? Yes, that's also nice too. So, but Contessa, the lady doth protest too much. That was a lot of yelling also for something that she's mad at. But I digress. That's what I'm saying. Like you end up with that. Or you have Jackie, who took back her husband after cheating and is now defending him when Toya says like he's handsy with a lot of the ladies and he did not say anything wrong. But Jackie is adamant that she did not see it. We clearly saw him drag her and throw Toya on his lap. And I think, wasn't it the trip to Ghana or Nigeria where he was holding on to Heavenly or something? I don't know. But that's where you see someone like Jackie just defending Curtis, who chooses to be in, is it the DR or somewhere instead of around? And it's just value the marriage when it's healthy. And if it's not, it's okay to let it go. So you are not angry because Simone on a regular level is yelling. And now that she's angry, she's yelling even louder. For now, she's made up with Quad. I don't know how long that's gonna last, and I just think they need to get over it. It's getting boring, all that. But speaking of Quad, do we like King? Something's off about with King. I don't know what it is, but something's off about him. He's doing all the right things, saying all the right things. I think Quad is enamored by the fact that he's a hot guy that she can say she moved on from and can't go through another breakup now, and everyone would get on her case. But I really do genuinely think that she's hope that she's happy, because the conversations they have, I'm left feeling, is this okay? I know some people didn't like, I think in the last episode when they were working out and he was calling her big back. I don't know. Some people joke like that, maybe that's our dynamic. Now, what kind of put me off was when they were talking about them having a kid, just the tone. And it didn't seem like he really understood like how much she's putting her body through to go through IVF. And it was a little flippant that I don't know. I didn't like that. But also, I don't know. Let me know. Do we like King? If we don't like King, do we know why we don't like King? Because I don't know. I just feel like something is off. But I'm also hoping for Quad's sake that he's good. One last thing, the newbies. The newbies Brandy seems to be assimilating well. Jackie, I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but to me, Jackie is the villain. Jackie's rude. Jackie's the one who told, what was her name? Not Bubby, but I forget her name. I'm, talking about infertility and, saying that out loud. And she's the one who told, was it Heavenly before they became best friend? Like she looked like a busted can of biscuits. And then now you just meet Brandy. You're like, is there something wrong with your thyroid? Like, come on. Yes, you're an OBGYN, you're a doctor, you see things. That doesn't mean you don't have etiquette. And you always like to, let us know, like, oh, you're such a lady. But I say this all the time. Jackie is the villain. Jackie is the villain. But yes, Brandy seems to be assimilating well. It doesn't seem like she's being hazed, and she seems to be doing okay. Angel, I remember Angel from Basketball Wives, and the girl is just so pretty. But so far, I don't think she's brought anything to the show. This is actually a healthy number of people on the cast. And that's surprising because the people usually don't last on Married to Medicine. So I don't know. Angel is just Quad's friend for now and is just nodding at everything she says. So I don't know if she's going to bring anything. I mean, if that's the case, we could have just brought back the lady who had what's her name? The husband that was so misogynistic, the half Jamaican, half Nigerian husband. Might as well just brought her back instead of bringing Angel. That way, it's a second season, and we see what happens with that. Okay, so far, either way, I'm enjoying the season. I'm enjoying Married to Med, and we will see what we have for the rest of the season. Okay, a quick one on Below Deck Med. Are you guys watching? I wasn't going to watch because Captain Sandy rubs me the wrong way. I think the last season I just didn't watch it, but I decided to watch it this season, and not bad. I am enjoying it. Kizzy is the worst, but so is Joe. Kizzy is like Sally from Southern Charm. It's just like if a man is not kissing my ass or giving me attention, I don't know what to do with myself. Like literally, Kizzy broke up with her boyfriend because she wants to make out with people, which is fine. They're a bunch of horn dogs on the boat, but to go after Joe, who is with V, and V is going through a hard time, such a hard time because her boyfriend passed away, and it's the 1 year anniversary of when he drowned, and she's just kind of dealing with that so much so that it's manifesting physically, and she's not feeling well, and she's trying to navigate that, and that is the time you choose to flirt with Joe. And for Joe, it's just like we've been through this before. It's just not cute. It's not cute when someone is so like sexually indisciplined. Like you can have anyone you want. You do have V. The one time she gets off the boat is when you want to do all this. It was just unnecessary. And I know he was crying and he felt bad, but it's like, medicine after death. Like just control yourself. You've been through it before and learn from that. Scott and Asia was cute. It was cute when she showed up. Like it's so funny because Asia had been talking about him. So that's cute, but the girl does talk about poop too much. Like too much. Also Captain Sandy getting Gail on the boat. That was also cute, but it's also a different thing to watch Gail and Nathan knowing that they have a kid. It just makes you watch it differently because it's also like, is this when the kid was conceived? We're yet to find out. But all that say, I'm enjoying Below Deck Med. I'm actually surprised Kizzy didn't hook up with the guest because that is what Kizzy does. Max and the new stew They're cute. I feel like she didn't like him, but it feels like she does like him, and the guy's just a romantic, and he's just like a little kid. He's acting out because Nathan has his best friend Joe. So yeah, that's it for Below Deck Med. All right, the last show I will talk about is Salt Lake City. If you've never heard me talk about Salt Lake City, my thing about Salt Lake City is yes, is it good? Is it enjoyable? Yes. Is it overrated? Yes, I think Salt Lake City is overrated. I think that they benefit from the fact that they are a newer franchise and they don't have the fatigue that all the other ones suffer from because they've been around for so long. But also, the first two, 3 seasons was with Jen, just, taking over, and that was what they had. And then her arrest. So that was exciting. And then they had to figure out who they were after her arrest. And that's when the Monica thing happened. And after the Monica thing, and we got receipts, timelines, and whatever. And that was the beginning of Heather thinking she's the queen bee, and we are suffering for it. Now, I have never liked Heather from the beginning because the self deprecation is too much for me. And it hit her head when they were on Ultimate Girls Trip, and she was like, "Oh, I'm just so happy to be part of the roster or part of them. Like, I'm in the presence of greats." And I'm like, "You're a grown woman. Knock it off. Like, stop it. Like, you are a person in your own right. And you can't act like you're in high school when the whole thing of wanting to be Lisa's friend and wanting to be in the in group and to be seen as a cool girl, the whole black eye thing, supporting Jen for everything. She's just not my cup of tea. And because she fancies herself, a fan favorite, I guess. She now wants to tell us how we should watch the show. And she's directing everything, and she and Whitney are controlling everything. So even when she addresses Lisa, and I'm like, "Oh, you are talking to Lisa. That's great. Like, you're not kissing her ass." It almost feels like now, in hindsight, you're doing that so you can say, "Well, I'm a great friend. I still talk back. I still, tell the truth." And it doesn't feel authentic. And now we get to see this with this whole dynamic with Meredith. Like, my God, Meredith and Brittany have had a conversation and they have talked it out and they're fine. Now, for you to now focus and hit your wagon on the fact that she called you a liar. Since when do you care? Like, even if she's apologized, how long are we going to do this for? And then she's so mad at her that she wanted to talk to her son. Now, yes, I did. Are Brooks and Meredith, do they have like uh what do I call it? A codependency. There you go. A codependency, yes. But she wants to talk to her child on Mother's Day. She likes her child. Her child likes talking to her. I don't know how we're just finding out that it seems like Heather doesn't enjoy being a mom. She said they were shaming her. They were not. I mean, Bronwyn was just saying, like, "Hey, that's how you want to do your things." But she's made a couple of quips because, Heather fancies herself a funny gal and says all these things. But she's made all these jokes like, "Oh, I don't want to be around my kids. Oh, I'm ready for them to leave." And I get it. Mothers always say that. But there's a tone in which she says it that I'm like, I had no idea. I thought she was one of those who were like, "Oh, my kids are my everything." And, I just want them close to me. But it just feels like, is it resentment? Am I reading too much into it? But it was just something that was surprising to me to learn about Heather this season. But she needs to let it go. Like, stop poking and poking and poking. And then Whitney with the assist over there, just, she already sounds like she's whining. So it's just like, "Oh, can I hear from Meredith? Can you stop talking for her?" But well, you and Heather do the same thing. So stop being annoying. I gotta say though, when they went into the airport, and because Lisa and Angie were fighting about the Cartier watches, and they bought Cartier watches also, they ate. I love that so much. Oh, that was so funny. So that was it. But yeah. Listen, I know people say that Whitney doesn't really have a storyline. I appreciate her honesty. I appreciate her honesty this season. Her resentment towards Justin, her conversation with Bronwyn about, maybe having an open marriage at some point. But I'm okay with it. Listen, there are some people who are meant to just move the story along. They don't have to be top of, you know, headliners all the time, but I think Whitney has use on here. Like I like the cast as is, like except Britney. Except Britney. I don't understand Britney. I don't think she's fun. I don't think she's camp. She annoys me. You know, chiming in and saying, "Oh, I didn't talk to my kids for 3 years." Girl, you are not in the conversation yet of motherhood. I'm glad you're working on it, but no, not the thing to say. Also, having an Excel sheet of the guys that you've kissed since college, are we going through a case of arrested development with Brittany? Like, what is the issue? And, when her kid mentions that she was a great mom, she was a great mom until, the divorce. So I wonder what happened over there. But Mary saying, like, 300 is also like the number of members in her church. That was funny. Trademarking of the high body count. Listen, Angie. Yeah, you said it, but you snooze, you lose. If you really wanted to do it, go get it done. Like, I bet Angie didn't even think about trademarking it until Brittany mentioned it. But that was a funny conversation. It is kind of, weird. You're not the one who said it. Why are you trademarking somebody else's words? I don't even know what the law is. Any lawyers? Like, can she even do that? But it was just funny. Oh yeah, one more grab against Heather when the Bronwyn was talking about having relationships with women, and Whitney, she's like, "Oh, where's Whitney?" And she's like, "Oh, the rest of us have morals." I'm like, Heather is never being unindoctrinated. Is that a word? But yeah, because that was part of my annoyance for her when she was younger, when in the early seasons is. Are you in or are you out? Like, it feels like she wants to be separated from Mormonism, but can't completely let it go, which is understandable. But it's also like, are you also taking steps to be completely divorced from it since you don't believe in it completely? I don't know. I didn't watch Surviving Mormonism, so I don't know. Maybe she addressed it over there. But I just think, like, I wish Heather would stop being coy. Like, even with her dating and then making all these jokes, she kind of reminds me of Erica. And honestly, in those days, I know Erica talks about sex a lot. I actually used to believe that she wasn't actually having the sex. I think now she is, but I think that's what Heather gives me. I don't know if Heather is dating. I actually don't believe that she's dating. But to go on and I think she lied about Captain Jason or insinuated that something happened, then you're backtracking. Like, I just hate the coyness of it all. Like, at some point, just be serious and lay out the truth. You want everyone to be truthful? Well, be truthful and talk about it. So, yeah. So yeah, that's it for Salt Lake City. It looks like the reunion has already been filmed. Wonder if we're gonna get to video or tape from the plane. You cannot tell me that Heather was sleeping through that. This is Heather's alley. This is what she lives for. This is what she breathes for. She heard stuff because for someone who claimed that she was sleeping, she heard a lot of stuff. So I don't know, what is happening on there. But that's it, guys. Those are my topics and my ramble for this week. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful holiday and stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. And if you like this, please give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Until next time, guys. Bye.